Yo, it's Jazzy Jazz with Lee Bailey's EURweb.com Spotlight. I have the amazing Drea Kelly in the house, beautiful choreographer, mother, dancer, actress, producer, and I'm going to say not survivor, but victor, champion. Drea, thank you so much for joining me.
That was quite the intro, Bam. Hold on. Yes, thank you.
See, I just keep it real. I keep it 100. you
Yes, yes.
you are looking beautiful and elegant, and you always keep it right and tight. So before we start, what is the secret?
You know what? First of all, keeping God center, it really
Mm.
keeping him center in your life. Self-love, self-care, really getting into taking care of this temple, taking care of your goddess. And you know what? Shutting the outside world out. Like it's
Ooh.
about you. I often say what's more important is what goes from here to here, not from there to here. So
Okay
it's
now.
about what we speak into our own lives and what we speak about ourselves that is important, far more important than people with their hashtags in they group and they gangster thumb. So that I live
The
a
way you
beautiful
said
lifestyle.
gangster thumb.
It's a lot of people out here with them gangster thumbs, baby, but meet me in the Walmart parking lot. It's a whole nother story. And it's crazy that that's the world that we live in. But what people don't understand is the venom and the hate that you spew says more about you than the person that
Mm,
you're putting it upon. Because
mm.
you have to have a very dark spirit and a very dark soul to even think to say something like that to somebody. And then to go ahead and type in, like I often said, most of these people are butt naked, covered in peanut butter, living in their mama basement with a flashlight.
Girl,
So
you can rap. You got flow. I'm telling you. Yes. Wisdom right there. I love it. I love it. You said living in the basement with a flashlight.
like, come on now, there's so many other things that you could be doing with your time. Like, if you're going to be a blogger, then go to school, get a degree in journalism. Like, if you're really going to do this thing, but just to get out to spew hate, we live in a world that is so, I like to say, we live in a space where we are entertained by people's pain. And
Mm.
it's sad that we live in a world like that.
Uh, that is wise. That is wise. And I think in your situation, though, a lot of people have been inspired by what you've been through and your pain. And now, but before we get into all that, I want to talk about La Belle Jetée Cabaret and Burlesque or Burlesque Cabaret. Tell me about it. Talk to us.
So, La Belle Jetée Cabaret, the meaning of the name, La Belle is French for beautiful or the beautiful. And jeté, there's a grand jeté or jeté in ballet. So it's a big leap where you throw your leg and you try to get clean across the floor. So I've often said my life has been one big, beautiful leap. So that's where La Belle Jetée Cabaret comes from. I've always loved burlesque. I've actually, Bob Fosse-based jazz is my favorite art form when it comes to dance. Like, I absolutely love and adore it. And burlesque, I think it's that powerful space where women need to sit, because here's the thing: we live in a world where we're crucified for the very thing we're told to be. You
Hmm.
don't want to be matronly, you want to be sexy, you need to take care of yourself. That's how you get a man. But then when you wear too many lashes, you got on too much makeup, revealing too much, now you look like a whore. We live in a world that teaches men they should have virgin whores. They don't exist. You have to be pure as a driven snow, but you better get your Meg the Stallion on too. And it's like, listen, which one is it? So I created a space for women and a show for women where they could go see other women, especially of color, be beautiful, be sensual, be sexy, and titillate and tease and like live in that woman space. That thing that makes us so beautiful and men want us in the first place is that woman part of us. But where do we go to see that celebrated, especially here in Atlanta? This is strip club capital. And I'm like,
Mm, yes, it
nothing against
is.
strippers. Nothing, and listen, don't nobody slide my DMs. Nothing against strippers. Get your money, girl. Get your money.
We
But
ain't mad.
I'm not mad at you, but we still need to have balance. So there still needs to be a place where we can go to still see women be beautiful and sexy and celebrate the woman and the goddess. And it doesn't necessarily have to come down to being totally nude.
So that sounds beautiful. And so, what are we going to see? Like, I think a lot of people don't know what burlesque is. They don't know the difference. between a burlesque and stripping. And like, I'm like you, like, mad respect for the strippers. I wish I could get on that pole. I would fall all the way off, hit my head. It would be ugly. But what is the difference between burlesque and what will we see when we go there? And when you think about the burlesque shows that we have seen on TV, like Jocelyn Hernandez, it was really like a lot about the drama and the beef between the women. So talk to me about what we're seeing with you.
Well, this is no shade, but I'm a real formally trained, classically trained dancer. I think before you can put cabaret and burlesque on something, A, you need to be a dancer. That would be number one. B, you have to know the art of performance, costuming. So in our show, you see boas, you see evening gowns,
Mm.
garter belts, thigh highs, stilettos. And it really is the striptease. It is the art. It is getting into the mind and creating this space and keeping it sexy and very demure at the same time. The difference between the stripping and burlesque also is you cannot show your areola. So you have to keep your pasties on. And there was a time that you couldn't even open your legs and face the audience. So there are
Wow.
ground rules. Yes, there are ground rules. You must at all times, keep the canyon covered, ma'am. Yes. So I don't care if you throw an extra $100, it's not sliding left or sliding right. Absolutely
No
not.
backroom lap dances.
No backroom lap dances. No. So it really is the element of dance too, through burlesque, especially in my show. You will see elements of ballet, jazz, modern, Bob Fosse based jazz, some African. So you get to see the full spectrum of women as performers.
Yeah. Oh, that is beautiful. Another thing I wanted to talk to you about that I think is such an inspiration about you. You have been so open with your journey. You've written books, you've been on television, and you've talked about being a victim of a domestic violence, sexual and emotional abuse, and being so low at one point where you even wanted to commit suicide. Look at you now,
Yeah.
and you seem so happy and at peace. How did you overcome that challenge to get to where you are now? I think that would help a lot of women.
Well, first thing I want to tell women is that I'm not happy, I'm joyful, because
Ooh.
happy changes day to day. Joy is your God-given right, what we were born with. When you look at babies, they have so much joy. When they look at bubbles, when they see a butterfly, just playing with a box, they have so much joy. We're all born with joy. Happiness changes day to day, depending on your circumstances. You might be happy today because it was a great day. Tomorrow, you might not be. So I'm so happy that I didn't allow anyone to steal my joy. So that's what you see Drea walking in. So if women can hold on to that, even in the midst of the storm, I always kept my joy, but I also said, dance saved my life. It was my safe haven. It was my safe place that I would go to when I was like, okay, God, this is way too much to me. And lastly, I would say, because I know it's bigger than me, I can have this smile on my face today because I know I survived for a reason. And I used to think, God, why would you do this to me? Why would you choose me? And I thought, I would go in my prayer closet, girl, and I'd hear his voice and he'd be like, Andrea, Drea, darling, daughter. He was like, why not? I said, duly noted. Duly noted. But I know, again, it's bigger than me and it's for me to share the journey. We don't need all the gory details. We know what that looks like. But what we don't know is what life is like after.
Right, right. And you've become a voice for so many women as a motivational speaker. And I mean, I think that message is so strengthening and empowering and beautiful. So we thank you for that. Now, how have you shielded your kids from everything that's going on? You have beautiful, amazing children, wholesome kids. Congratulations. That can't have been easy. How did you do that?
I didn't shield them. That's why they are who they are today. Because I think as a mom, that would be a great disservice from them, trying to shield them from a world that is very nasty, that is very cruel, that is very feminist. I had to prepare my children for what they would be up against because they would have been blindsided. And we live in a world with social media. I can't control their social media 24 hours a day. And you'd be amazed at how sick some people are that will say things to innocent children that have
Oh,
nothing to do with it. But my children also know their life is their life. Their father's life is his life. That is his journey. You will be judged on your character, your merit, what you bring into this world, the energy you put out is what you're going to get back. And I was very real with my children at appropriate ages, though. What they could understand at 6, at 3, at 2, I was not going to tell them what I would tell them now that they're 24, 22, and 20 years old. So I have been preparing them since the day I left because I wanted them to know. And for my son, I wanted him to know what healthy relationships look like and how you treat a woman. And for my daughters, I wanted them to know what healthy relationships look like and what to look for in a man and what you don't have to deal with. Period. I don't
Amen.
care who it is. Period.
Say less, girl. Say less. Period. T. That is so beautiful. Well, the last question, I know you don't have a lot of time, and I know we're gonna see. I know right now the Belle Jetée is in the A, but I know we're gonna see it in Vegas and New York, right? Yeah.
Yes, that is
Moment,
the
y'all.
ultimate.
Look out for it. And if you're in Atlanta, you got to make sure you check it out. Last question, just because it's all over social media, your thoughts about Jocelyn Savage, who, of course, asked for leniency, says that your ex is her fiance, boyfriend, and wrote the judge asking for leniency. What are your thoughts about that?
I don't have any thoughts. And a lot of people shouldn't have thoughts either. You know why? Because it's not their life. It's my life. It's not my life. So who am
Right.
I to have any type of opinion, what I feel about it, what she should have done, what she shouldn't have done? And I think that's the problem with social media. It allows people to chime into lives where you don't know the inside story. We will never know what she has to deal with, what she goes through, and why she made the decision she's making. All we can do is say, whatever you decide, let's support her and hope that she gets to wherever she needs to be in a healthy space, in a happy space, no matter what that is. That's how we uplift. That's what social media should be used for. That's what your mouth should be used for, to uplift people, to love on people, no matter what the situation is, not your opinion. Because at the end of the day, she didn't ask me, she didn't ask you, and she probably didn't ask the rest of the world either.
I am so here for that. And we have been treated today, right now, to some real motivation, some inspiration. And I love how you keep it positive, Drea. You are just amazing. And I want to thank you so much for kicking it with us on Spotlight. I wish you so much luck with the burlesque. I can't wait to see it.